Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show today. We got a great show lined up. I see a lot of echoing going on here. Let me fix that for you. I got it. We're good. Welcome to the show, guys. We've got a lot of news to go over today. FOMC day today. We got ADP job data that came in this morning, and markets are set to rally. Dixie having a massive dump and sell-off this morning on that data. And right now, I'm watching NVIDIA up 7% on the market open, guys. Bitcoin getting a little rally. We're going to be looking at all of that and a whole lot more today on this Wednesday, FOMC day, Piper Academy morning show edition. Let's get it. Classes in session. Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning report here on the Piper Academy show. We got a lot of stuff to go over, like I was just saying. Markets are getting a good rally today. ADP job data, we talked about 4 reasons that I'm bullish on Bitcoin, bullish on the markets in general, and one of them was strictly because labor force weakening. And I know it's bad, don't celebrate people having, lack of jobs. So, but when it comes to investing, that is what moves these markets, guys. It is that fear of job force weakening, labor force weakening that forces Jerome Powell's hand to go, you know what? We've got to go do a rate cut here. And I think that we're looking at a September rate cut that is now being cooked in. But we need to talk about also today on the show, what happens if we don't get that September rate cut? Because a lot of pricing has been cooked into these numbers, guys. And we had that possibility that we may not see a rate cut in September. We're going to look at that 100% right now in the FOMC CME gap, but CME group, we're going to look at that. But there is that chance. And so we'll talk about that because don't be scared, be prepared. And that's what we need to do here on the show. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. If you guys are just joining us here for the first time, go ahead and hit that notification bell, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and you'll get notified when we do this show every single morning. Welcome to everybody. I love seeing all the alumni in the chat. Let's jump over here, though, to Duo Cam, because I got OC with me today. What's up, OC? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I have a great night yesterday. I mean, a lot of work, but still. And also, I see that Bitcoin is moving forward to the upside. So very excited about that. Still, I don't think that we're out of the blue, but seems like we're moving in the right direction finally.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's all off that job data this morning. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into that. Let's talk about the bubbles. Let's look at this job data reports. I had a little article stuff. We need to talk about that, and then we'll get into the chart. But first, before we do that, I just want to show you guys this. Let me see if I can pull this up here real fast before we jump over into that news. It is going to be down here on the chart. Let me grab the chart. I want to make sure I get it the right one, all right, yeah, so stock heat map here. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show you what it looked like, okay? What it looks like now. Let's jump over to here. Right there. Right there. There we go. Check this out, guys. This is this morning pre-market, the stock market, right? And you can see how everything is either gray or red. It was not looking too good. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like now. NVIDIA up 7.4% there. Apple pumping up 1.32. Amazon up 1.6 here. Tesla, where's Tesla? Tesla's up 3% over here. This was not what we were seeing on the market. Matter of fact, this was red just today, and it was not looking good on the overnight. And then we got the ADP data. Markets opened up about 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago now, and they have just absolutely moonshotted since then, giving us a nice rally on the Mag 7 at least. AMD, guys, is up 8%, just so you know, right there. So let's go ahead and jump over here. OC, we're going to take a look at these job numbers here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about What happens if they don't do rate cuts? And then we're going to look at the Bitcoin charts and CASPA, guys. We talked about CASPA yesterday. I showed you guys what that ascending triangle looked like. We talked about it. It's a bullish thing. I told you guys we are about to get there. Look for that OC retest. We're going to look at that because that's exactly what happened on there too. Let's go into the news, guys. Brought to you by Decrypted.tax. Every day, the news brought to you by my trusted tax official here on the show, and he should be yours too. You get a free consultation and 25% off using his services. Even if you're not doing your taxes right now, tax season's far off. You guys can hit him up and go, hey, would this create a tax event or should I not sell this right now? He's pretty good at that stuff. So you guys should check him out. Give him a call if you have any questions about that stuff. Let's look here at this fear and greed, guys, because on this fear and greed index, we are seeing greed at 61. We're not really going up. It's just kind of staying in this range right here. Nothing important to see here, folks. Let's jump over here and take a look at what we're seeing on the crypto bubble. On the crypto bubbles, guys, on the hourly, we got Floki up 1.2% here. A lot of meme coins moving, so that's a good thing. But PopCat 3.7% on the hourly for that one. On the daily, we are still red. Just so you guys are tracking, you see Caspa there, right there in the middle, up 5.5%. Phantom's down 7.4 though. It is only the hourly and the yearly that's really green right now. Let's drop down here, take a look and see how this is looking. We got Bitcoin up on the daily 0.1%. It is what it is, right? It's, hey, look, I'm not down, right? We'll go with that one. Ethereum is up 0.5% on the hourly, down on the daily. Let's move down here. Solana's down, or up, I should say, 1% on the daily. Up only 0.5% on the hourly. But the big ones here. Let's go down for the big ones and take a look here. Number 22, guys, moving up 2 positions to number 22 is Caspa. It is sitting at just under a $5 billion market cap, guys. It is up 5.5% on the daily, up 0.6% on the hourly, up 15.4% for the week, guys. So Caspa, yeah, if you guys got in on that trade yesterday, congrats to you. Everything else kind of holding steady. Remember, we still got FOMC today. That's going to be coming this afternoon. When is that going to be coming? Let's go over and take a look and see what happened here. ADP employment change, guys. That was this morning. 122,000 was previously at 155,000. Consensus and forecast were 150 and 140. 150K, 140K. Right there. That was the consensus and the forecast. We came in a lot under that. And what does that mean? Let's go jump in and see what these job numbers are actually telling us. Private businesses in the U.S. added 122,000 workers to their payrolls. That means they only hired 122,000, not the 150,000 they were projecting, or the 140,000, and much less than last month. So this is the least amount of job hires in the past 6 months, following a upwardly revised 155,000 in June, and compared to forecasts of 150,000. That's what they were projecting, right? The figures showed job creation edged down as pay gains continued to slow. So not only are they not hiring as many people as they were, pay raises, people making more money as they change jobs or as they stay at a job, that is slowing down too. The service providing sector added 85,000 jobs. So, that would be trade, transportation, utility, services. Right? We provide a service, right? That's 85,000 jobs, namely trade, transportation, utilities. That was 61,000 jobs. Leisure and hospitality was 24,000 jobs. And then education, health services, 22,000 jobs. And financial activities, 14,000 jobs. While job losses were occurred and reported in the professional business services, they lost 37,000 jobs. Information lost 18,000 jobs. The goods producing sector gained 37,000 jobs, mostly in construction and natural resources and mining. That was 2,000 jobs there. Manufacturing jobs, though, they shed 4K. So if you worked at a factory manufacturing anything, layoffs probably happened in your world. Let me know if that is, if you know anyone in the chat, if you're in the chat and you know anyone who was recently laid off in one of these sectors that are showing losses, let us know in the chat, guys. Meanwhile, annual pay gains for job stayers slowed down to 4.8%. That's the slowest in 3 years. Pay gains for job changers slowed to 7.2% from 7.7. So even people that are staying on, their pay raises are slowing down, and the people that are jumping job to job because they say that's the quickest way to jump up through the income brackets. They're actually showing a loss and slowdown also. Jump over here to the FOMC, guys. What we're seeing here is July. This is July. This is today. We are expected to have no change. 96.9% chance today of a rate cut. There's only a 3.1% chance of an easing, 0% of a hike. The one that everyone is cooking in is on 18 September. Guys, this was the one that is showing a 100% chance of a rate cut. And it is as low, by the way. Right now, it is an 87.7% chance of a 25 basis points. That would be 0.25% rate cut. There's a 12% chance, according to the analyst, that we will see a 50 basis points, which would be a 0.5% cut. That would take us from a 5.5% down to a 5%, 4.7 to be exact, to 5%. And that's what we're looking at for September. Let's go ahead and just take a look at November. November is sitting at 100% chance of a rate cut, and then December. But let's keep in mind, if we do one in September, it's very likely that November and December will shift back up because that high likelihood, they're saying as of right now, September, 100%. But if not, it's going to be November. And if it's not then it's going to be December. So if there's one in September, they will shift that back and go, yeah, we just had one. Very likely not going to see one in November, December. So going to keep an eye on that. And guys, do we want to get into this? No, we'll get into this later. Let's jump back over to Duo Cam. OC, bad job numbers this morning. Great for investors, great for, the markets, bad for the economy and the people out there, which is why today Jerome Powell has to come out and make that decision. Is it dangerous enough to continue with rates going forward right where they are, and the shakeout that the markets will fill with the economy? Like, is it safe to continue to put pressure on the labor force, or is this far enough? What do you think is going to happen today? Are we going to see a rate cut today, or are we going to see a rate pause today?
I think we're going to be seeing a little bit of a nothing burger. I think that they're going to be pushing a little bit more forward into, making the jobs bleed a little bit. I don't think that we're going to be seeing actually a rate cut. I think the rates are going to stay as they are because, at the end of it all, economy, classic economy has been moving forward. The assets, in fact, I've been looking at Goldman Sachs, for example. It's a nonstop rally. We also have seen that S&P 500 is doing great. I don't see many things that will get Jerome Powell to actually commit to a rate cut unless it's getting kind of like out of hand, right? And I don't think that we're there yet. Of course, we've been seeing those employments being laid out people and increasing unemployment rate, but I believe that we're not there yet for the rate cuts. Although I could be wrong, and we could have a small rate cut. That's what I see. I don't see a big number being put out there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. I think that we are not going to see a rate cut today, guys. I think that today what we're going to see is we're going to see a rate pause. They're not going to increase. They're not going to decrease. It's going to stay the same. But I think that he's going to have a dovish approach to the conversation about future Fed rates. I think that we're going to see some dovishness today out of Jerome Powell. I think he is seeing that we have, the political race coming up, but he's said before that he is not to be swayed by anything in politics. His job is to not look over there at that. His job is to look at the economy strength and look at the Federal Reserve focus, right? So, but it is what it is. Trump has said, "Do not cut rates before I take office." So I don't know. We'll toss that up and see. But bottom line is today, guys, we are seeing reaction off those job numbers today. Let's jump over to a chart and take a look at that and see what we're seeing there. This is the Dixie. The Dixie coming down here. Looking at it on the hourly, this is going to be right here Tuesday. This is yesterday. We came up, we hit that 50-day EMA right there, and then down we come. We tried to hold the 200-day. 100 wasn't even a thing. We were like, yeah, screw you, 100. Straight to the 200 there, and now we are way down below the 300-day moving average here. And the Dixie is continuing to sell off. They keep trying to keeps trying to come back up, but not doing too well there. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll come back and take a look at some stocks because NVIDIA is rocking today. Let's go take a look at what we have going on here. We did get a pump up yesterday above this trend line. Let's go ahead and bring this in a little bit, and we'll work with what we have here and bring us some oscillators. Nope. Let's do that. There we go. So you can see here, I thought we were going to come down to the dynamic reactor. I really did. We didn't quite make it there, just a little bit above that. But now we are starting to move back up after losing the bottom of this, the top of this pattern that we had here, right? This descending channel that we were looking at here. And if we take a look at where we got our support and where we're coming into run, guys, we are coming in right now onto the point of control right there at 66,860. That is something we got to keep an eye on. But I do believe that we're going to break through that. Then we're going to be heading back up into this upper channel here, the upper trend line, if you will, the resistance. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Good Lord. But I think that we're going to get back above the 786 here and back above that trend line. One thing that I will point out, we are creating on the micro, on this local time frame of the 4 hour, we are creating higher lows and higher highs. So I am expecting to see, especially today, if he comes out dovish, that we get this rally up here, because of dovish approach for him means a September rate cut is confirmed to the investors. Obviously, it's not 100%, but the investors will think that that is a confirmed, this is happening. Yes, looks like this is definite. You can see here, we are getting that ribbon flip on the Oscillator Pro, starting to get right off of that 30% line. Nice green candle there. So Bitcoin looking bullish today. Let's jump back over to DuoCam. OC, are you seeing anything on your Bitcoin chart that you want to talk about before we go into stocks?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's get it.
Just great. So basically, we are having the flip of the ribbon that we were talking about yesterday. I was expecting a little bit forward movement or a little bit more kind of like a defined flip of the ribbon. Nonetheless, we did have that forward movement that we were talking about yesterday. Remember that yesterday we were right below the money flow POC, and basically right now we're getting support at the loud order block. We need to be a little bit careful of these zones. Are we gonna keep bouncing to the upside? I do think so, but still we are below the zero line. And let me point out that as we get close to the zero line, that's what I want to be a little bit careful, because of the zero line rejection, right? I mean, I want also to be above the money flow POC to catch that retracement, and then for your long opportunity back at either your trend line here or your money flow POC. So just be careful on this possible retracement. Nonetheless, we still have market dumps, but I believe that if we break the money flow strongly with one single candle like this, we could be changing the market dumps into a market pumps very, very soon and going for that retest, and off we go. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about, just a warning signal for a possible reentry. But so far, it's so good. We keep on track on what we were expecting on Bitcoin for the 4 hour time frame.
Awesome. Let's jump over to my chart. I'm taking a look at Casper right now, and then I'm going to jump into their stocks, guys, because I just got to show you it's rallying hard. Yesterday, we talked about this. I said, guys, look, we have this ascending triangle here. We've got a nice support line coming in here. This is our resistance on top. This typically breaks to the upside. If we break out of it and then we come back for the retest, that's where you enter. Well, let's go zoom in here and let's look at this OC retest. Perfect. Breaks through. You guys see the wick there? Right there? That is the retest. That hit right on OC's noggin there. He loves those retests after breakthroughs on support and resistance. So, guys, we are sitting right now. Our all-time high now officially on Caspa is let's see here. It is 20.64 cents. Currently, right now, we are at 20.56. So all-time high. We could have got it on this yesterday if you guys were watching. Now, I did call on the newsletter that this would likely come down and retest down on the dynamic reactor because it had been such strong support. Didn't even make it down there. Did not even come and break out of this. I thought we would get a fake out on it. I was wrong on that. That's okay. Don't have to be right. It's 50-50, and you chose unwisely. So we did get that breakout, though, moving to the upside that we talked about yesterday, because it did not look like we were going to get that pullback, and it was a continuation of the rally. Now, guys, let's come over here and talk real fast before we jump into that NVIDIA stock, which, by the way, is up 9.6% right now. Caspa's not even listed on Coinbase or Binance yet, and we're already seeing it move up to the number 22 position. We were talking about this I talked about Caspa at 3 cents back on, according to Crusader. It was 3 cents when I was talking to him and Keeper about it on their show. And then we were doing it with our community at 4.5 cents. We were talking about this is going to be a massive token to buy. Did you pick up any Caspa, OC? I got to ask this.
I did. I do have a little bit of Caspa, but I haven't re-get my Caspa there because I don't know. I haven't paid attention that much, but every single time that I see a retracement is, you know what, I need to get a little bit more, but then I just don't, and kind of like an instant regret because it just keep pushing forward.
I think that Caspa easily makes it into the top 7 tokens this cycle. And I think that Caspa still has at least a 15x from here. Just so you know, that's my opinion. Just one humble man's opinion, but I'm going to be watching it close. I was going to move my ADA. I talked about this yesterday. I was going to move my ADA into Caspa. Did not get a chance to do that, and now I want to wait for a pullback. But again, pullbacks don't last long in Caspa, so I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys have Caspa? Are you bullish on Caspa? Put a 1 in there if you have Caspa. Put a 1 and a 2 if you have Caspa and you're bullish on Caspa. So there we go. Bold prediction. I think a 15x is easily from here, man, especially when it gets listed on those major exchanges. It's not even on any major exchange yet. I think when people are able to pick this up on crypto.com and Coinbase and Binance, I think it's going to be a parabolic run. Talks, according to TA Tim, talks are in discussion currently for Binance to pick it up. So nothing heard yet on Coinbase. Let's jump over and check out NVIDIA here, guys. Let's look at this stock, and then we'll come back around, see what OC is seeing there for bullishness. All right, guys, another one. Yesterday, I talked about, look, we're getting rejections off of this 50-day moving average here. If we do get a breakdown, I would say that we're going to head to the 100, but if we're going to do that, we might as well consider that we're going to hit the platinum pocket box, the platinum pocket at the 887 to the 786. That's a $100 range. It would be a nice psychological number, and it would be in that platinum pocket. Let's just go ahead and throw a T-box on there, and that's what we did, guys. It wicked perfectly down there yesterday. Now, from there, from when we talked about this to this point here to where we are now, it is a 14% move on NVIDIA, and I do believe that NVIDIA is going to be heading back up and testing this value area high at least. That's at about $119, $120. We'll see how it does on strength getting through that, but that would be where the target that I think we are heading towards today if this continues on in this rally. Let's jump over and see what you're seeing, OC, on your charts and what you're watching right now, and we'll run with that.
Absolutely. Let me just begin with S&P 500. Yesterday, I was talking about this formation here that we had yesterday, maybe a bearish pennant, and I was speculating for a breakout to a downside, maybe all the way down to these areas in here. Seems like, and for a good reason, seems like it did not went through the dynamic reactor, and we are ranging up, basically following the same pattern that we have seen in here. So as long as we don't fall below the dynamic reactor too long or too much like this, I think that we still pretty much bullish despite we are on a sell signal. Remember, that is because of how the patterns in here are working. So basically, this is an uptrend, and when we lose the trend line, we're losing that uptrend unless we go into an unreversible bullish sentiment, bullish structure back again, right? The same thing I think is going to happen here as we keep pushing forward. We're going to be having, or we're going to be seeing once again this little channel being takeover, and then a new bullish signal being printed before we keep moving forward. So looking our signals to start looking for long positions, you'll see that I'll be maybe waiting for that cross over the zero line. Once we start crossing over the zero line, I'll be looking for that retest, and on that retest, just moving forward into it. So this is a good signal because this basically makes it reacts to the markets, right? And one of the things that I want to talk about for the markets, it's Google. Google has been struggling a little bit for the these couple of days, but it seems like it's releasing a new AI things, and it's been reacting, or the market is been reacting to it, and basically pushing back upwards into the dynamic reactor. So what is it up next? Well, then we are below here the zero line. We're still not out of the blue. I want to see a breakout of this trend line here that is being built from the bottom here all the way to this area and this area. So I want to see a breakout before I keep moving forward. So far, I could be looking for maybe a double bottom, or at least the same thing that I've been looking on S&P 500, that upwards ranging still being a little bit bearish before we break to the upside. Other than that, I think the markets are doing fantastic. I mean, and we still have some like momentum to keep pushing to the upside.
Absolutely. Let's jump over here. Take a look here, guys. NVIDIA now up 10.5% today. Amazon up 2.18. Markets are continuing to rally. AMD, guys, up 10.14%. Let's go jump over into some news. Let me get over here. Let's bring up the news here. There we go. And let's stretch that out. Bam. Let's talk about this, guys. $35 trillion in U.S. national debt could bolster Bitcoin's adoption as hard money. Bitcoin could see a new all-time high due to the looming U.S. federal debt, which they just keep creating. It's a never-ending story over here, which surpassed $105,000 for every living person in the country. Guys, this is newborns. This is 90-year-olds. This is everybody in the country. We all owe $105,000 each in order to pay off the debt that we have as a nation. They are saying here that this growing national debt of the world's largest economy could catalyze mass Bitcoin adoption, according to analysts. On July 30th, the U.S. federal government's national debt surpassed that $35 trillion for the first time in history, raising concerns about the health of our economy, you think? However, the ballooning U.S. debt could fortify Bitcoin's adoption and its status as a safe haven asset, according to Matt Bell, the CEO of TurboFish. He told the Cointelegraph the recent news of this U.S. national debt getting that high is causing growing concerns around the sustainability of traditional fiat currencies. This situation stresses the importance of Bitcoin as hard money, a decentralized and deflationary asset that offers a hedge against currency devaluation. Just like gold, they're saying here, during periods of fiat currency devaluation, investors ought to seek out safe haven assets like Bitcoin and gold. I think more gold than Bitcoin historically, but I do see a time in the future where Bitcoin will be right on that same table when they're looking for that safe haven to jump to. So to help protect the purchasing power, Bitcoin price has historically increased during periods of distress in the legacy financial system. So that is what this article is talking about here. The guy from TurboFish, the CEO over there. And if we take a look at what's going on with the Dixie, guys, we just talked about it. The Dixie getting weak. When you see this happening, it's not a good sign for your dollar. So yeah, Bitcoin could be right there on the table, right along with gold. You see gold rallying up since it's bounced at the golden pocket here. We talked about this 50-day moving average in the golden pocket down here. I believe last week I said that was probably going to be the target, and it's gotten a decent rally from there. It is up. Nothing like Bitcoin would be, but it's still up 3%, which is a hedge. And when you look at what Bitcoin can do, especially when we look at things like this article, let's jump over here. Guys, there might be stability for price coming ahead in the future, and they're starting to see it according to CryptoQuant. Links Bitcoin mining hash rate nearing all-time high levels to potential price stability. Let's jump down here and see what they're saying in this article. The Bitcoin mining hash rate is nearing all-time highs, which CryptoQuant analysts believe could help with the cryptocurrency's price stability. The hash rate is rebounding as Bitcoin's price rose to over $69,000 on Monday, followed by a correction down to $66,000. Again, we are currently right now sitting on Bitcoin at about 66.5. So not far off from where they were just talking about in that article. Let's jump back over there and talk about that. Bitcoin mining hash rate getting near that all-time high leads the CryptoQuant analysts to believe that this will help with the cryptocurrency's price stability, Bitcoin being that cryptocurrency. Bitcoin miner hash rate is making a comeback as the digital assets price recovered. And let's see, hash rate drawdown from the all-time high is now only at 3%. So it's all-time high. We're 3% off from that in the hash rate, compared with 8% on July 9th. And the hash rate recovery is typically associated with a sustained, a sustained rally of Bitcoin prices. It got me all choked up. I just keep thinking about Bitcoin pumping. CryptoQuant analyst said that Wednesday, CryptoQuant market report said that the miners have increased the hash rate as they are now being fairly paid after the price rally at the beginning of the week. This contrasts with the miners being extremely underpaid, basically since April after Bitcoin halving occurred, because that difficulty, it is very expensive. We pretty much have to be at like 65,000 or higher in order for them to see profits in Bitcoin as a miner. So they are back there now. Let me see. Was there another piece here? Large miners are accumulating Bitcoin right now, not selling. When they do that, that typically leads to a stabilization of the price, and that stability of the price is what's going to be important. Man, words are hard today. Those little squiggly characters called letters form words. They have meaning. I can't say any of them. But yeah, that's what we're seeing today, guys. Sorry, allergies, man. El Paso dust is killing me. I need to get out of the city. But yeah, that's what we're seeing there with the hash rate. It is causing stability to occur on the price, and a stabilization of the price could lead to what we were just talking about, that being the hedge against that dropping dollar for a lot of investors, and it could send a new all-time high sooner than you think on Bitcoin as people start to flee from economic scares to protect their money. Gold and Bitcoin. That's the two in the future that I see it's going to be happening a lot. So, OC, your thoughts on that? What do you think? Do you think that we're going to get price stability on Bitcoin, first of all? Do you think that volatility's going to wash out in the next 4 years? Let's say the next 4 years. Are we going to stop seeing all this crazy volatility as TradFi money comes in? Or do you think Bitcoin's just one of those things that degens are going to try to trade all the time? So,
Well, that all boils up to market cap. I mean, it's just no other way under my eyes than market cap, because the higher the market cap, the harder it becomes to get, it gets manipulated. Nonetheless, just like gold, right? Who controls the production of gold? Who controls how much gold there is out there to be mined, right? Well, I just kind of like I said it. And I think the same thing is going to be happening with Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin can be mined, miners will control the price of Bitcoin, as well as higher market caps holders, like, for example, big companies and so on and so forth. Talking about a 4-year cycle, I think we're not there yet. In fact, I think that we are about to go into a high volatility, time frame, and that is because we're just opening to traditional markets, money upcoming, and because of the ETF, and that needs to flow in a ton of money that absolutely will bring some volatility. But talking about 8 years from now, I do see stabilizing way much more than is it right now. And I think 4 years, it's going to be long enough, or 8 years might be long enough to start finding or talking about some stabilization with Bitcoin price. Sooner than that, I don't see it happening.
No, I can agree with that. I think in the next 4 years, probably not. I think 2030, in that time frame there, probably where we start to see that stability. Which means, guys, this is your opportunity. The next 4 years, next 2 years, really, is your opportunity to make those last parabolic runs. I don't think we're going to have these big, massive dips to buy into after this cycle again. I think that they're going to be less and less, and this might be the last cycle that you had that. Shout out to BC Port Corp gifting one Piper Academy. Just saw that green flash at the corner of my eye over there. That went to Reggie Classics picking that up. So shout out to you. We appreciate you, BC Port Corp. That is Blackie Chan. Much love to you, brother. By the way, Blackie Chan and Lunar Beaches very possibly joining us in Las Vegas next year for Bitcoin Conference 2025. I already talked to those guys. We're going to get them set up with the room to stay in. So shout out to them. Let's go ahead and let's get into some altcoins and stocks. If you guys want to check out some stocks, we'll check those out too. We are a morning market open report show. So we do stocks and crypto. Let us know there in the chat what you'd like to see. Let's go ahead and start getting that list going. And I'm going to jump over and check out my first altcoin that I'm watching right now. And then we will jump over and see what everyone puts into the chat, guys. Let's go over and check out Solana. I'm going to jump into that right now. Solana, guys, we are sitting here getting a bounce here off of the 236, this point 236 right here, giving us that support. That's at $178. We are doing the same thing over here on this 4 hour chart, guys. You see the low, higher low, a higher low. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. Give me that higher low. His favorite song by not Whitney Houston. That's what we're seeing there. And now we're getting higher highs. I do think that we could see a retest here, this 236, before we get this move up. But yeah, we're looking very strong down here in the Oscillator Pro, looking very strong on the RSI primed. And if we bring this over, take a look at what we have going on here for the fixed range volume profile. We'll bring this on the daily just to show you what it's looking like, guys. We are sitting well above that that value area high. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and readjust this just to be into this pool of data that we have here. And you'll see that we just perfectly almost got a bounce off of that value area high, give an indication that we are going to be heading back up to my T-box that I've had up here for a while. That's at the 0 line based on the previous high, looking at that liquidity grab up there. So we get this nice bounce here. We do another retest, which it looks like we're doing right now on the 236. And then we come up here, break above this previous line to grab that liquidity before flagging out again, creating another higher high and a higher low. That's what I'm watching for on Solana. Let's go ahead and kick this over to OC, see what he's looking at on his charts, and I will start looking at the list that you guys are dropping.
Absolutely. Looking at Jasmine, also we have a list of crude oil, Matic, and Jasmine. So take a look at Jasmine that we were talking about yesterday. I was expecting a pullback to the money flow area right here to money flow POC. As you can see, basically played out perfectly from yesterday right to the money flow POC and the support line here, or the trend line that we had built up right there. And then what we're seeing is that rally that once again we were expecting, right? Let's just remove that rally and start seeing what could we be seeing. Why? Because something different happened of what we were expecting. Sorry about that. And it was the the oscillator not bouncing from the 0 line, but instead going low. So that for me means that this movement to the upside might not have enough momentum if we don't push back up through the 0 line. So what we need to see, it is a pushback to the 0 line to the upside before we see a retracement and then a move up to the through the previous resistance or to the upcoming resistance right here. But the next case scenario, which will be bearish, it is basically not flipping up in here, which seems like we are, right? But there's that little chance that we continue downwards and we go to these areas right down below to make a double bottom. And that could be a little bit dangerous because we could be going to this area right here, and for the bounce we could be going for rejection. So I don't think that we're going to be plummeting downwards, but we could be doing a little bit of a range. If you're looking for an area to re-entry, I'll be looking for this area right down here at the trend line for entry number one, and somewhere around these areas right here for entry number two. The entry number two will be 0.029 and entry number one 0.30. By the way, remember, we need to see the flip of the ribbon acting upon support before we commit to a long position. Nonetheless, we do see that strong candle pushing upwards, and hopefully we can break out to the upside before before we go lower on our oscillator. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, I see here in the chat they're talking about the home sales guides, and we talked about this a while ago. I said that there was double, it was like a 1,000% increase in available homes in the South over the past 6 months from what there was back then, and that we have a housing bubble coming. Like it's starting to shake out. And one of those things that I'm looking at here, this is off this data, just came out 9 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Pending home sales post surprise jump in June. So in June, we actually got a surprise jump in those home sales due to the rising number of home listings. Even more inventory is expected to come onto the housing market in the upcoming months, according to the NAR, that's the National Association of Realtors. Pending home sales. Oh, you're going to make me do that? Fine, we'll go back here and I'll find it again. Watch this. Bam, there we go. Globe Newswire. Pending home sales rose 4.8% in June. Pending home sales intensified. Month-over-month contract signings increased in all 4 U.S. regions. Compared to 1 year ago, pending home sales declined in the Northeast, Midwest, and South, but improved in the West. So from last year to this year, seeing a decline, but month-over-month an increase. So looks like we might be at a little summer bottoming and then up. But remember, most home sales occur in the summer. That's when people move. Why? Because kids are in school and they don't want to pull them out during the middle of the school year. Summer gives them the opportunity to do it in between the school year. So pending home sales index, the PHSI, a forward-looking indicator of home sales, based on contract signings, grew to 74.3% in June year over year. Pending transactions were down 2.6. So we are seeing less on those home sales than what we saw last year, but it does look like we did get a little, it was coming down. It found support and bounced again, which it means it is still on an upward trend at this point. We'll have to wait and see how the fall looks when people are slowing down on buying new homes or moving because the summer is over and now the kids are back in school, right? So I just wanted to bring that up. They were asking about it. Shout out to FDY in the chat. He said, Piper, can I get a wrench, bro? Yes. I'm going to hand it over to OC to look at what he's seeing on, go ahead and knock out oil, and I'm going to come back and do Matic, and I'm going to get FD White a wrench. I'll be right back, FD White. I'm going to go get you a wrench. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So he's running to the hardware store. So let's take a look in here at Brent, right? Brent usually is well known for, for that crude oil. We're going to be doing the analysis on daily, and then finally we're going to going into 4 hours because daily is having a very interesting movement here. And despite we see this very big drop, we're kind of like finding some stabilization in here, right? I mean, this is good because we all know that prices of oil should not be going that low, neither being shoot to the upside. In fact, when we start seeing the price going shoot to the upside, those are very bad news. All right, so what are we doing right now? We're basically on support, and that is 10 to this trend line. Basically, we're hitting it and we're bouncing from it. Also, something that leads me to believe that we're gonna keep moving forward to the upside. It is the flip of the ribbon. Are we still on the red? Absolutely, we are. Are we out of the blue? Not really. And what I'm gonna be doing is drawing a manual trend line in here, right? This trend line is one of the ones that I want to keep an eye on. Let me right click and add an alert on it. And when I see that trend line being broken to the upside and then hit the dynamic reactor, I know I will be looking for two things. One, break to the zero line. Then second one, either a break to the dynamic reactor and retest for joining here, or a rejection for maybe a double bottom and continuation to the upside. In fact, this double bottom I am expecting to be a little bit cricket, because we can see that usually plays out a lot on oil, like that double cricket bottom. All right. So once you start seeing those ones, well, then we are on our way to the next rally, to somewhere around 88.78. Let me bring out my indicators just to wrap things up in here. We are on a high order block for support. And also, let's see what, there we go. Predictive ranges. We can see that our big resistance and confluence zone, it is right where we were pointing at, basically at the dynamic reactor next to a golden line, the bottom of a symmetrical triangle formation, and also right where the money flow POC is being located. So to say the least, 83.22 is going to be a very hard hurdle to jump over. So just be careful on that area. I would recommend looking for that flip of the ribbon, and not financial advice, and then maybe taking some profits out of this area before expecting a continuation to the upside. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Shout out to Retro Mike dropping 5 Piper membership, Piper Academy memberships there. We appreciate you, man. You rock, Retro Mike. Matter of fact, Retro Mike was out in Bitcoin 2024, and TradeFly hung out with him. He said, very cool guy. So obviously we know that here. He's always here in the house with us at the alumni. Mark Dutch picking up one of those memberships there. Dutchy boy, we got one. We got who is it? Kolachi? Is that Kolachi? I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but man, welcome to the alumni, bro. Under the gun with crypto bullets. Got one. Mr. Z picked up one in the Elf Bomb. So shout out to all you guys. Make sure you join our Discord. There's a lot of perks for the members over there. Matter of fact, one of them will be today with Crux. We're going to be doing a little AMA time over there. So Crux of Crypto dropping some knowledge bombs on us on some degen pickups and some meme coins, deep dive, quick dives. Dude's always on it. And then also Ada Ace. I will check out what the level is on the ads. I don't have it set at the highest one, but I will check that out. If you guys are getting a lot of ads on this, I will drop it down one. I don't want to like demonetize it, because when you don't monetize, it messes with the algorithm on pushing this out, and we're trying to get this channel everywhere. But I will lower that level for you, man, because I care. I care that you guys are getting knowledge cut out for ad time. So let's jump over and take a look at Polygon Matic. I want to show you guys something here first. Looking at this I talked about this website. It's CoinGo Live, and it has the all-time highs, how far a token is off from its all-time high. You can see Polygon Matic down here at number 27 now in its ranking for market cap, and it is 466.6% off from its all-time high. I mean, it's not as bad as ICP at 7,600, but still quite a ways off from its all-time high when you have, things like Caspa here, which is, by the way, I took a lot of my Matic and moved it out into Caspa and Injective. It is now over its all-time high. You can see it's negative 20.29 there. So let's jump over and take a look at that chart and see how that is looking. There we go. Let's get into Matic. Matic's got a critical level of support right now, guys. It is in its platinum pocket. This is where it got its reversal last time it came into this range. Last 2 times, actually, was that platinum pocket. And you can see here it held support. And then, bam, down to the 887, 45.7 cents. We're now sitting in there, and it does look like we have continuation to the downside, although we are coming to the edge of the cloud here on the Oscillator Pro. Typically, when we get to the edge of the clouds, we will see a slight turn like we did right there to the downside. So it is possible we get a bounce from here. We are running sideways on that RSI primed, and so you can see it's just very flat on those candles there. When we get this way, we could see a bounce up to the upside. Remember, this can cool off as price just stays right here sideways. This is going to be the critical level to hold. It's going to be that 887 at 45.7 cents. Guys, if we lose that, we could be heading back down to lows that we saw way back here in 31 cent range back in June of last year. So key level to hold that we're in right now. So that's what I got for Matic. Let's jump back over here and see what's going on in the chat. ICP has really let me down. Yes, it has me too, bro. I am with you there. What else? What else we got? Yes. All right, OC, what do you got, man? Harp just said, "Damn, so late." Morning, good morning, Harp. Report to the first sergeant, as Trey Fly would say. OC, what do you got, man? What are you seeing on your charts?
I want to pick up on Solana because Trifly is not here, so somebody needs to pick up on the Soul
I did
Train.
Solana.
So
That was the first one I did while you were
Oh,
writing
okay.
the list out. But if you want to touch on it, if you're seeing something different, you run with it, OC. Go for it.
Perfect. Just wanted to bring up something very quick. It is I do see a daily big range, and there's a real scenario here that we could be going to the dynamic reactor or at the bottom of the range. Basically, this is the top, this is the bottom, and that's the only thing that I wanted to mention. It is not that we're going to be going down. But if we start going down like we are right now, we have a peak seeker. If we lose the zero line, we could be into a real trouble and maybe going visiting for target number 150 and 125. So since you did Solana, let me just touch back on Apple. Yesterday we were talking about Apple here and maybe going to the soft order block for a breakout because we were seeing that momentum pushing to the zero line. And finally, what happened? We did push to the zero line. Basically, let me just clear this up so we can see it. Basically, that weak candle played out as we were expecting to break out of that channel. What are we looking now? Our order blocks, we are right into the one order block. So I do see a little bit more further move to the upside before we start reversing as we were expecting in this area right here. Come on, why I cannot grab this? Well, whatever. And then a continuation to this other higher trend line. So be aware on Apple, it's keep moving. It's basically breaking up out of that area. And we could be seeing good movements based on today's on the earnings report and today's numbers being plotted. So other than that, I think that covers my my last review. Turning it back to you, Piper.
All right, yeah, we got a question here asking about what do I think about ICP? Do I think it can rebound or dot dot dot? Let's go take a look at what or dot 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 looks like. Guys, we have this long running trend line here. Let me isolate the top chart here, and we'll show you this long running trend line. Which, by the way, how far back does this thing go? All the way back to the last cycle. Let me. There we go. Let's go back here and take a look at this on the daily, and you can see this was key levels of resistance. They were support or resistance back here. They were rejections over and over and over again. Looking at the daily. Now let's get back here to the current time period on the 4-hour auto. Thank you very much, guys. This has been also during this cycle a key level of resistance. You can see that all the way through there. There we go. Resistance, resistance, resistance. This has been a long running trend line for ICP. We have tried to make this support for a long period here, going from 19 July to recently 29 July. So for about 2 weeks from this initial rejection here, we are now sitting below that, trying to come back up to it. What do we have above us? Let's take a look. Well, we got this trend line that we know is bad resistance historically. We got the dynamic reactor sitting underneath it is bearish. We are underneath the 50-day, the 300-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day. Even if we get a push up here above this, we have to push through 2 other resistances, and then we have this rejection range right here at about $10. That is a very risky play for something that I don't think is going to make it all the way past here. And even if it does, it's a liquidity grabbing back down. Would I trade this? Yes. Would I buy this right now? Absolutely not. I don't think it's one to buy, and it's not showing any great strength, especially when we're still sitting at this point of the bull run underneath this historical resistance. We should be way above this, and ICP absolutely breaking my heart, man. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then last but not least, let me jump over here and let's talk about micro strategies, because some things are going on here with this, guys, and you guys need to know about this. You guys see this little earnings right here coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, MicroStrategies is getting their earnings. A majority of their earnings is based on their ownership of Bitcoin. What does Bitcoin look like from last quarter? Well, let's break it down. Let's go here and let's look at the monthly. Actually, we'll go weekly, and then that will pull us into what it looked like 3 months ago. So here we are right here. This is July. So going back 3 months, that would be April, May, June, July. Yeah, so it'd be April. So let's go to April and see how April looked. April, we were on a downtrend, guys. We were on a downtrend in April. So we are sitting a little bit below where we were in April. But I have a feeling that because of how many people have bought into MicroStrategies during this quarter, they haven't lost much money on their Bitcoin holdings, and they've had a lot of money inflow from buying their stock. And then on top of it, they've got a 10-to-1 split coming. That 10-to-1 split is started with the print tomorrow. So if you're not tracking this, anyone that is holding tomorrow is the snapshot for the 10-to-1 split that takes place on the 8th. I'm not sure if they pause buying and selling at that point. I'm not sure. Not an expert on that, but I do know I have a lot of MicroStrategies, and I do know it's going to have a 10-to-1 split in a week from now. So it looks like today we are getting a little bit of a pullback, but we are at key support right now at $1,633. Looking at the 4-hour here, we are erasing all of our gains from today, but as long as we hold this 236 right. You know what I didn't do, Mark Dutch? Reg Classics, I didn't lock my fibs. As long as we hold this 236 at 1633, I think that this is going to be a nice run in the rally for MicroStrategies, especially if today's data is dovish on that FOMC. So that's what I got there. OC, you got anything for the people, man?
Just to talk about assets or the goodbyes.
Just how you feel about anything right now. We're at the bottom of the hour. So if there's anything that you want to like, hey, you've got to see this chart before we go, we'll take a look at that. But if not, let's just wrap it up, talk this out. We've got FOMC today. That data going to be coming out in about 3.5 hours. We're going to get that data, and then right after that, 30 minutes after that, guys. So at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking, and he's going to be laying out his sentiment. And if it's hawkish or if it's dovish, then bam, there you go. So World Mobile Token announcement of a new state today. What state is it? WMT validators are now meeting each week, mainnet soon. So A to Ace, you'll have to come on and talk about that at some point. Maybe we'll bring you on. Maybe we'll bring you on next week to talk about World Mobile Token and their spread and advancement. Oh, by the way, OC, you know what Friday is, bro? Do you know what Friday is?
What?
It's our monthly giveaway. It's August, first Friday of August. So Crux, if you're watching, nice. I need the list. We got new members today. You guys are going to be eligible for the giveaway. I think we're just going to give away USDT this week. Some things are a little bit high. Some things are a little low, and people may want to either buy the dip or hold some dry powder. So we're going to give away some USDT this week for the monthly giveaway for the alumni because we love you guys.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
All right, OC, what you got? How you feeling about this FOMC today? Tell us your sentiment before we roll out of here.
I do think that, again, I'm not hoping not too much out of today's meeting. I mean, I think it's going to be a little bit of a stress as we build into it. And then at the end of it all, it's going to be a kind of like a disappointment on what we all could be expecting. But at the same time, not doing much will be what I do expect out of him to play it out with what economy is telling you. I do have two more assets before we roll out. Yesterday, you guys got me to see some legacy coins. I want to get over EOS, basically making a inverse head and shoulder. If we can do a flip of the ribbon here, we could be golden for the dynamic reactor. So that could be a good increment only if we do the flip of the ribbon. By the way, only if we do the flip of the ribbon could be an increasement of 12% no leverage. And another one that I'm also just waiting for the flip of the ribbon. If we do that flip of the ribbon, we could be going to previous highs and we could be expecting something like, I don't know, let's just say a 14.91% no leverage. So just look at those two coins, OM and EOS. For that flip of the ribbon, they could be a good run up if we stay as we are doing right now. Other than that, turn it back to you, Piper. I don't know, for maybe the wrap up.
Yep, wrap up. It's wrap up time. Guys, thanks for joining us today on the Market Open Report right here at the morning show on Piper Academy. We're here every morning, 9:30 a.m. at Market Open, Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys whatever you guys need to know. Every day it's different. But every day it's the same, right? It's just another asset. It's another economic data. It's another bad slump in housing or the dollar. Do you know what the one consistency is? One consistency is that the dollar keeps getting more garbage and Bitcoin keeps looking better. So that's the one consistency that we get every morning here on the show. But OC, thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. TradeFly should be back on with us tomorrow, bringing the whole trio. And then Friday, we're going to be doing that giveaway for USDT. So guys, make sure you're here on Friday. If you guys got any value out of this show today, please share this with a friend, guys. That is how this gets out there. Let them know. Go check out Piper Academy, that we are bringing you guys all of this alpha on a daily basis. Whoa. I don't know what you just did there, Ecam, but that was not what I told you to do. There we go. We're back. This is how we grow the channels. You guys sharing this out. The algorithm helps a lot, but you guys hitting that like button and then hitting that share button and showing a friend, hey, check the show out. It's on every morning. Good data. That helps us out immensely, and we greatly appreciate it. So, OC, you got anything for the people before we roll, bro?
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining today. And a quick reminder to click that like button, because if you do and you like Coca-Cola, it might be just slightly less diabetic if you click that like button. Do not overclick it because it won't work. But other than that, go enjoy a great Coca-Cola for today's lunch, and always do exercise. Do not overdo sugar and keep healthy.
I don't drink a lot of Coke, but when I do, I'm in El Paso, so I buy Mexican Coke because it's got real cane sugar in it, not corn syrup. So it matters. That matters. Don't have, if you're gonna have sugar, not the fake corn syrup crap. That's your tip today on Piper Academy, guys. We'll be back here tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining us. Until then, trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!